Is there a moose? I don't know, moose.
Hello everybody and welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are as always your hosts Arne and Carlos, and today it is the 6th day of our
podcast
and
knitalong. Yes. So we just want to wish everybody a happy Monday. We hope that you've had a fantastic weekend in isolation. We'll tell you a little bit more about our very incredibly exciting weekend. But before that, we are very pleased to be doing this second week of our podcast and knitalong. The reason we're doing this, if you weren't here last week, is to have something to do while we are in quarantine. We were put under quarantine by our government because we traveled abroad after February 27th, and we are supposed to stay at home and have contact with no one until March 26th. I believe, or 27th or something like that. 27th, there we go. And so in order not to go cray-cray, and in order to have something to do, and in order to encourage, inspire, and help everybody out there who was already feeling alone before this happened, we decided to extend our YouTube channel to have a daily podcast, which is what we're doing now.
But this is actually more or less like a normal, it has been like a normal week.
Yeah, that's
in
what
our
I mean.
life, because we normally stay in the house if we're at home, but now we can't just jump into the car and drive down and buy some sweets or something. But far from that, it's like normal. It has been like a normal week.
Well, I think that the best way to get through this crazy time is to try to act normal. So one of the things that I have been doing every single morning, I have been getting out of bed. I've taken a shower. Look at me, I'm shaved. And I go to my closet and I look at all the shirts that I have, and I kind of try to change it up a little, make it exciting, and figure out which one to wear today, or which one to wear each day.
I think you look good in that one.
Well, this is one of the old ones that I've just dusted out of the wardrobe that I haven't worn for a few years. I don't know why, but it's shrunken a little bit here around the stomach area. I really don't know.
You don't have to tell.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's way down there.
Well, anyway, it's just nice to get dressed. It's nice to get out of the pajamas, and it's nice to act as if everything is normal. And if you're in quarantine, whether it's self-imposed or not, we highly recommend that you do that. Get out of that couch, put on some lipstick, and the world will get better. Or if you don't wear lipstick, do something to your hair.
Yeah, like I did.
Yeah, like Arne.
Or what I forgot to do. But actually, this is not normal, because normally we walk around in our long johns the whole day. But now, since we're not going anywhere, we decided to put on clothes in the morning and
look at us.
Try to look like we're normal.
Yeah, and we're doing this podcast to help you, inspire you, and to keep ourselves busy. Now, Arne, one of the big questions everybody has is, how's your cough?
I'm fine.
Yeah. So Arne, sometimes he's a very stubborn person, and sometimes he does things he's not allowed to, and because he's so active, it's not always possible to monitor or make sure that he stays out of trouble. We had been traveling for 2 weeks. It was really busy. It was so dramatic with the whole coronavirus and everything that was happening all the time. And then we drove home. We were exhausted when we got home. And what does Arne do? He goes out to shovel snow the minute we get home. And I told him not to do it. And a day after, he had that cough. The cough is almost gone. It's not anything serious and nothing to worry about. It happens to him sometimes. It happens to me too. The air where we live is very dry. And the air indoors as well is very dry. So he's okay, nothing to worry about. We have actually, just as a precaution, taken his temperature a couple of times. He has absolutely normal human temperature.
Don't paint pictures in people's heads.
No, yeah, you're right. Anyway, everything's okay. There's no suspicion whatsoever. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay? So now that's out of the way. How's the weekend been?
It's been good. I've been working on a new design project, and I didn't like the first result, so I had to make another one.
Oh.
Because I'm making the prototypes.
Okay.
And then I was reading a book.
Mm-hmm.
And
Lars Saabye Christensen, right?
And that was nice. And you? did you do?
What did I do? Well, I went to walks.
Yeah, you
With
didn't
Freya?
do your workout.
No, I didn't do my workout, and there's a reason for that. The reason why I haven't been working out is because you have occupied the room where I usually like doing my workouts in the morning. You see, the room we're in now is the room that gets the sun in the morning, and this is the room where we decided to create our studio for
So that's
the
not normal.
podcasts.
That we're in the same room. That's not normal.
No, we have a very big house, and usually Arne is in his little studio, and I'm in my room, and we do meet for different things during the day. But now we've set up the podcast studio in the room where I usually like being in the morning, and I don't know, I feel a little bit awkward about doing my workout routine in the same room where you're in.
But I won't criticize you.
I know, and I know you're a nice person. I still feel awkward, but you know what they say, tomorrow is the first day in the rest of your life. So tomorrow I'm going to start doing my workouts again, and hopefully the shirts are going to start growing again, so that, because I don't understand why this one shrunk, but it definitely has shrunk around the abdominal area.
No one understands, Carlos. We have no idea.
Why they shrink?
What happened?
I don't know.
Why,
it's a mystery, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, so you were reading that book by Sobi Christensen, which is, I think you said it was really good.
It was a trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was the last one.
And have you
And
finished
now
it?
so I started the new one. I bought how many books? 5 new books.
Yeah, wow, yeah. And this was
So-
before the crisis, huh?
But yeah, because I was optimistic. I thought I should read a lot when we were on the cruise.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you who don't know this, we were supposed to travel today to Australia, and we were supposed to have a wonderful time there for a whole month. And unfortunately, because of everything that happened, our trip to Australia got cancelled. We were supposed to...
Postponed.
Well, postponed, yeah. Postponed.
Po-
Postponed until
Postponed.
sometime in the end of the year, maybe November, maybe next year. But yeah, Easter we were supposed to celebrate it in tropical Queensland. I was envisioning, a beautiful beach, and here we are under quarantine in Norway.
No beaches.
No beaches, but it's okay. I mean, I went out. The good thing about being quarantined in a rural area where we live is that we can still go out. There's hardly any people here. I have been walking Freya every day, and that's the one thing that I have been noticing, how quiet everything is, and you don't run into people anymore. I do see a couple of cars here and there, but once I get into the forests, there's absolutely no one. And it is a blessing to live where we live right now, because quarantining here is quite comfortable. It would have been a completely different story if we would have been in an apartment, a little apartment in the city, for example.
And there's hardly no cars. That is really strange.
Except for the few cars that stopped by our mailbox. Now, when we mentioned the whole mailbox situation, I think a lot of you are envisioning that we live in some sort of suburbia, and that our house and and then the driveway and the post box are kind of next to each other. But that's not quite the case. We live in an isolated, remote area. We have neighbors, but they're still, they're a little bit away from us. And the thing is, our post box or our mailbox is not by our house, because we have a private driveway to take us to our home. And the postman won't drive that driveway to deliver our mail. So our post box needs to be next to the main road. So our post box is at the crossroads between the main road and the road that is our private driveway. So it takes us a few minutes to get there, and it is pretty far away from the house. And near our post box are a few cars, because that's a public parking, and people park there to go on hikes and walks in the forests or for skiing.
Yeah.
And those are the cars Arne has been observing. Funnily enough, though, when I've been walking Freya, I haven't seen those cars.
No, but maybe there weren't cars there this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There were no cars there in the weekend, but you had been observing them as you hid behind the bushes last week.
I don't want to go if there are cars.
No.
If I meet people.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're supposed to stay isolated, so that's the whole thing. No meeting with people, just stay away from everything, or from people anyway. So that's our weekend pretty much. I've been cooking, I made Arne the chicken soup without chicken that I was talking about.
I'm having that again.
Yeah,
totally. It's so good.
He's absolutely in love. And the recipe is super easy.
It's chicken soup with no chicken.
Yeah, you take water, you boil the water, you drop a chicken bouillon cube. I usually take a knife and kind of cut it up so that it really dilutes in water or dissolves. Maybe that's the correct word. Put it in the water, let it mix with the boiling water, and then I add some noodles. And then
That's
7 minutes later, Arne has a delicious cup of chicken soup without chicken.
With noodles.
With noodles, yeah. And we have to improvise because it is pretty hard for us to get groceries right now. Mm-hmm. Our friends Austria and Audrius are helping us out. They come and deliver...
Austria, you mix up everything. Austria.
Oh, sorry, Austria and Audrius, our friends.
We've been at home too long.
We've been at home too long, yeah. They bring us groceries when we ask them and drop them by our door. And we communicate through the window. And then they drop the groceries. And Austria told us that there was no flour in the store. I wanted to bake some bread. Apparently, a lot of people are baking bread now. So I guess that's a thing. Mm-hmm. Toilet paper and flour is what we're out of here. And not us, but the stores.
Yeah. And then there was something we had a comment. Was that on Facebook or?
Oh yeah.
People thought we were strange.
Somebody
that we have been at home too long.
Yeah, somebody was commenting that we were acting a little like if we were going a little, cray-cray, and wondering if we were getting cabin fever because they hadn't seen us behave like that. But I actually believe that what you're seeing now is the unedited version of ARNE CARLOS. We're here with our camera in our computer, and we're doing this very dogma because you just touched your face, Arne. Sorry, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna.
But we haven't been out. We haven't been outside of the house.
We haven't been outside of the house, but I think that what you're seeing is how we really are.
So if you think we're strange, you're right. This is how we are.
This is how we are. And usually,
can't help it.
Usually when we have when we do our YouTube filming here, the real one, the professional one, Eric is here behind the camera, and Anna is here, and PJ is usually here as well. So there's 3 more people, and I think that we may be a little more shy when they're around. And also there's some editing that goes on. So I think that you're kind of getting the real us now.
No, I don't think we're shy. It's just things are more planned because we kind of know what we're going to talk about.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
We do a lot of videos in a weekend.
I know what we're going to talk about. We have a list.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of. Sort of.
Sort of?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the next one?
Okay, next on the topic is talk about charts and prints.
Yes.
Okay, so the first week has passed and it has not gone without its, issues. The biggest issue was everybody complaining about not being able to print the charts.
Not everybody.
Well, the thing is, when you start seeing the comments, you only see the complainers because you want to do what you can to make everybody happy. We want to please everybody. So we started getting all those, I can't print the chart, and of course, we know how to print charts from our computer, but we thought that if we explained that in a video, which we did a few days ago, people would get it. But then it kept going, so we had to find a solution. And we did. We posted the solution on our Facebook group on Friday morning. So the solution was that we found a way to make the charts into PDFs. So now, when you go to the pattern page, you see the chart, the original chart that we posted, and under that there's a link. Now, if you click on that link, it will automatically download the chart as a PDF file, and then it should immediately go to your printer. Or if you want to save it in your Knit Companion app, it would also be possible. So I am so happy that we finally found a good solution for the printing of our charts so that we can kind of not deal with that issue anymore, because it was becoming a little annoying for us when we have all the other things to think about. Not annoying that people are asking for it. It was just like, oh, come on, let's find a solution. And yeah, and it took its time, but we found a solution and we are pleased. So now that we have resolved that chart solution, we can deal with other things that actually have taken all the attention away from us. Now, we've been getting a lot of new beginner knitters here that want to do the knit along, and that is so nice. So
I touched my face.
Oh, okay, don't touch your face.
Okay, no, yeah.
So yeah, we've been getting a lot of people that are new beginners, and they're asking all sorts of new beginners questions like how to read the chart. And we realized that we've been so busy trying to get a solution to print it that we haven't actually told anybody how to read it. So Eric is, by the way, in Oslo under quarantine with his wife and kids, and he helps us long distance. So if all goes well, there will be an image of the chart, the love chart from last week.
Yeah.
So Arne, how do we read this chart?
So when you look at the love chart, you see, you start from the bottom on the chart where you see number 1. That is the cast on. And we do a long tail cast on. So that counts like 1 needle.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're knitting on double pointed needles, or we do that all the time.
Okay.
And then when you cast on, you turn your work and then you purl back. So each line where there are no numbers, that is a purl needle.
I see.
And each line that has a number, that's a knit needle.
Perfect. So to sum it all up, cast on 29 stitches. That's your first row, and it should be the equivalent of a knit row.
Yeah.
Turn and then purl back. And then knit the other way, turn, purl back, turn, knit, and so on.
And then when you see the pattern under and over the le, that's easy because it's mirrored.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you come to the le, when you do the knit, you have to read from right to left.
Okay.
And when you purl, you have to read from left to right.
Okay, perfect.
If not, you will have a strange love.
Yeah. And
or no love.
No, oh no. We want to spread the love, not the virus,
the
but spread the love.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps you guys out. If you by accident did it the opposite way, you cast it on and then you knit it, it should still be okay because you're going back and forth anyway, knitting and purling alternatively. So it should work, shouldn't it?
Everything works.
Yeah.
But I just say that's how we do it.
That's how we do it, yeah. So I've been in our Facebook group, which is so lovely. There's so many people there that are so active. They're posting their images of their work, and they're also giving us suggestions and ideas. And I want to take a little time to talk about some ideas for people who don't like color work. Mm-hmm. We don't want anybody to feel excluded here. And so we've told people that you can do it in any way you like. And we've given some suggestions already, like double knitting or maybe knitting on the round and then just ironing it and sewing the sides, and then you have sort of a double knit. Today I found a really nice alternative for those who hate color work. Eric, screenshot number 1, please. This is from Gina L. Moreland, and it is a really nice idea. So take the chart, and instead of knitting and purling the color work, what you do is you knit the background, and then you purl the pattern.
Purl the pattern. I think that's a very nice way to do it.
Yeah, because you get the essence of the design, and there's some texture there, but you're not color working. And now,
especially if you hate color work,
yeah,
this is the way to go.
And this is wonderful because if you thought that you would be left out because you hate color work, now we found the perfect solution to keep you going. Because now you can check out. You can do it this way, which is really, really, really good. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is screenshot number 2.
And this is nice.
Yeah, this is Michelle Westcott. Loving this one for being so whimsical. It's the sunflower bomb and then the green around it. She says she went a little crazy today with the clue, and that she's enjoying it and participating with knitters all over the world. Yeah. And we really love what you've done, Michelle.
It's nice
very,
to
very
see,
beautiful.
I think it's nice when people actually do their own take on it or customize, or it's nice. So you have one more?
Yes, I do. I have one more, and hopefully Eric is awake and making sure that these are up on the screen.
Eric is always awake. Come on.
Okay, so this is Lauren Welsh. And her beautiful colorwork mystery thing, which is coming to life. Loving the color choice; they are fantastic. look at this, 2 colors, and you can create so much interest with
It's
just
really
2
nice
colors.
when you have just the same colors. But
Yeah.
she's afraid that she will run out
Yeah.
of the colors.
And Michelle, oh sorry, Lauren, I see exactly your predicament here, because it is looking fabulous the way it is. I'd be worried too if I run out. But you know what they say, huh? I mean, if you run out of yarn, you just get a challenge. And being a designer is all about those challenges that we have to solve. And it's not always easy to do a challenge, but you know, when you have a challenge, to solve it. And sometimes the more difficult it is to figure it out, the more fun design work can be. So I'm sure that if you run out of yarn and you have to do other colors, I'm sure that you'll find a great way.
I think you will make it.
You will make a
You will
great
make it.
thing. So yeah, Arne, it's been a great 1 week, or first week. We hope that this week will be just as good.
Yeah.
Any ideas for new coffee things? I know that you do your variations on how you do your coffee. Somebody was recommending adding some spices to your coffee, maybe cinnamon or nutmeg.
I don't do that. I like Swedish coffee.
Black coffee with no milk.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Swedish. It has to be Swedish.
Maybe you could set the coffee machine before dinner.
No, because then it's cold in the morning, because I don't drink coffee in the evening.
No. You set the coffee machine before dinner.
Oh yeah,
and then
I
you,
like prepare it.
and then you leave it, and then you go in the morning.
But I do that sometimes, but now I do it before I go to bed.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah, I can have even more variation.
Yeah, if you do it before dinner, then you have a whole new way to do it that you've never done before.
People might think that we doesn't have a life.
Yeah.
We have nothing to do.
Oh, I know. Maybe I'll do it for you. And then when you go to the coffee machine to do it, you're going to get really surprised.
But you don't know how to make coffee.
Yeah, because I'm a tea drinker, so I absolutely don't know how to make coffee. Well, anyway, I tried.
Don't touch my coffee.
No, I'm not going to touch your coffee. But thank you for making me tea every morning.
You're welcome.
You are very kind. Okay, so we've got a few things that we want to talk about before we finish this podcast. One of them is the throw that we showed you guys yesterday in our regular episode, filmed pre-corona in the beginning of January, when Eric was in the house, in the same room. And remember, we did the little throw that looks like this, super cute. This was done with fingering weight and the hook, the smallest hook available. I think it's a 00 in US. I don't even know.
It's not the smallest, but it's small.
Yeah, is it a hook number
1.5?
1.5 millimeter hook.
Or 1? I don't remember.
Yeah.
You have some difficult questions.
Yeah, I know. But
How can I remember?
people want to know. Anyway, what I wanted
Depends
to...
on the yarn.
Yeah, I guess. But what I wanted to show is the little blanket for the dollhouse is actually done following the exact same pattern as the main blanket. We showed you the scraps that we were doing, but here's a full blanket for you to see. If I can, I don't know if you can help me out. Look at that.
You can cover the whole screen.
We can basically cover the whole screen. So you have big.
That didn't happen.
No, but anyway, you have big blanket here, and you have little blanket here. You see, and it's incredible how just by changing the needle, you get 2 completely different projects. If you want to start this project after our mystery knit-along, it'll be a good thing to do, because you will need a lot of yarn from your stash, because we have concluded that we're not actually using that much yarn in our blocks, are we?
I don't think we're going to clean that much in the end. I thought we should clean up a lot, but
yeah,
it doesn't take much yarn for one block.
No, exactly. So we're going to end up with tons and tons of leftover yarn from our stash, and maybe we should do a little bit of this as well. If you're interested in the pattern for this, you get it in our website at arnecarlos.com/shop. So, Arne, now the mystery is going to continue to be revealed. Isn't it exciting, Arne, that today we get to reveal clue number 6?
Yes, it is.
Shall we do a drum roll? And clue number 6 is here.
That's... we had a discussion, what should we call it?
Well, maybe we could try by describing it first. To me, this is a very simple floral design that is very much home in the 60s and the 70s. That's the first association I have. It's graphic but very clean. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think that this flower reminds me of what people put on their Volkswagens in the 60s and the 70s.
Yes, exactly. The little Beetles and the little Volkswagen buses with the florals on. Absolutely agree.
So let's call it the 60s flower.
How about the hippie flower?
The hippie flower, that's nicer.
Yeah, and
hippie flower.
The hippie time was nice when everybody was, together and everything was done collectively. Pretty much what we're trying to achieve now through the internet, keeping each other company in these difficult times. So let's just call clue number 6 a hippie flower. You'll get today's pattern and the chart, plus the link to get the PDF chart. You'll get everything by visiting our blog at arnecarlos.com/blog. What we've had to do is separate. So last week's clues are in one post, and that is part 1 of the pattern. And then this week's clues are going to be in a second part of the pattern. And this way we keep everything nice and tidy, and we don't make huge files that are going to be very difficult to work with as we go. What?
I don't know if you see how I nod my head every time you talk about like all the internet things, like I understand.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah, you're not doing all that
I don't
stuff.
get a word.
Well, I try to do as much as I can, and then what I don't understand, Eric helps me. But I guess I'm a little bit savvier than you, but not that much.
But you know what I do? Like if I want to have a print, and I have it on my iPhone, I take a screenshot.
Yeah, that's another way to do it.
And then I send it directly to the printer.
Mm-hmm. That works pretty much. But anyway, now we've gone through a lot, and finally it's all fixed. Downloadable PDFs for everybody that needs a PDF for their printer or knit companion. We've got now 6 blocks, and I have to say, Arne, I am very impressed with myself that I still haven't revealed the mystery.
Yeah, you're good.
Because usually I'm the worst keeper of secrets.
Everybody who saw this one on Friday,
Yeah.
how bad he is with secrets.
Well, I didn't give the dollhouse episode away, but
it's like, what's the secret? Well, is there more? It's like,
I don't understand what you're talking about.
no. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm eating sweets. You want some sweets?
No, I'm okay. Enjoy your sweets. They're good for you. So
we're like in quarantine. We need sweets and chips and
cheese doodles, and we're drinking tea and
I want to have more of the chicken soup.
I'm gonna make it to.
Have you said everything about this one?
Yeah, I think we did. People can download it. We are in discussions here on how we're gonna continue the mystery knit-along, but those discussions, they take place in closed doors, so you don't get to take part in those until later. We will be back tomorrow with a new episode. So Arne, let's do some of the formalities now.
Oh, you do that.
No, come on, you're good at the formalities.
Okay. So, if you like the video, put your thumb up. If you don't like it, thumb down. And remember to put on your notification.
Why?
Because then you get a message.
Because?
Every time we post something.
So you never miss an episode.
You never miss an episode.
There we go. And remember to subscribe to the great Arne and Carlos family. Everybody in the Arne and Carlos family is so supportive in these difficult times. And you really want to be part of that. We've got our Facebook group that we started for this Mystery Knit-along and podcast that you should join if you haven't done it yet. You can go there, share all your images, and share the love with all the participants and members. And also remember to hashtag quarantine knitting if you're on Instagram, as that is a good way. So yes, and we will be back again with a new clue and a new podcast tomorrow. And now you have a lot of things to look forward to. Among others, the big questions are going to be, what are the next clues, or what is the next clue for tomorrow?
And what exciting things happened in our place.
And what are we going to be wearing tomorrow? So stay tuned and see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.